If you're thinking about whether you should buy a house now or wait till we get into a recession, watch this video because I'm going to give you 5 tips of how to make your dream happen. What's up everybody, Mocha here. I'm a realtor in Northern Virginia. Welcome to the channel. You've been here before, we're so glad to have you back. If it's your first time, welcome. Get right to it in a second. Remind you your phone is your friend. Hit me up, check my link tree in the description. It's got everything you need, my contact information, discovery calls, a free home buyer webinar. Check it out, I got you. You wanna do anything moving, real estate related wise in Northern Virginia, I got your back. So today we're talking about whether you should buy a house now or wait till we enter into a recession. And the reason why this is such an important question, why a lot of people are asking about it, is because this year has not gone according to plan. In a number of ways, one on the Fed side, two on the real estate side. From the Fed side, the big news is inflation. The consumer price index rose to 9.1% in June, which was a far cry from what experts had predicted. One of the biggest contributors to inflation over the last few years, and especially this very aggressive inflation, has been the increase in home prices, which in 2021 increased by over 18%. That was such a huge jump that early in the year, the Fed increased the federal loan limits up to, in our market here, which is considered a high price market, $970,000, which means that barring you qualify on everything else, you could take out a loan of up to $970,000 with as little as 5% down on a conventional loan. So real estate played a very key factor in the prices increasing, in inflation rising. And so now what is happening is the Fed is raising interest rates in order to bring inflation down, or at least slow it down, and also level off demand to the level of supply. And so this past week, the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell issued a statement talking about how the Fed is going to continue raising interest rates until they believe their job is done in an effort to bring inflation down. I quote, "We are taking forceful and rapid steps to moderate demand so that it comes into better alignment with supply." So there are two basic ways that prices can go down, inflation can go down. One is to increase the level of the supply, another is to decrease the level of demand. And so the Fed, by raising rates, is decreasing the level of demand just so that the supply has a chance to catch up. But as Powell goes on to say, this is not going to be easy and it's going to cause some pain. He says this: "While higher interest rates, slower growth, and softer labor market conditions will bring down inflation, they will also bring some pain to households and businesses. These are the unfortunate costs of reducing inflation." But because this is not an economist channel, this is a real estate channel, the question is, how does all of this relate to real estate? And the number one way that it affects real estate is in the interest rates on financing your home through taking out a mortgage. And the interest rates have been very volatile over the summer, if not the entire year. And just at the beginning of this year in January, interest rates were hovering around 3.3 to 3.5% on a 30-year fixed mortgage, which is a very good interest rate. And even as the rates climbed up to 5% at the beginning of the summer, 87% of new listings were still going under contract within the first week. But then things started to get a little funky. In June of this year, interest rates were as high as 6.2% on a 30-year mortgage. And the market felt it and turned almost overnight. And as you take a look at this graph here, you can see year over year, numbers are below where we were in 2021. But if you look at starting in June up until where we are now, the demand is not only lower than it was at the beginning of the year, it is trending downwards in terms of new contracts. And even showings have decreased as well. Looking where we were in April, where showings went as high as 120,000 showings a week, this past week, the number of showings went down to just about 80,000. And this is having a massive effect on sellers. When we look at metrics for listing transactions year over year, almost all of them have gone down. What we see also that we did not see at this time last year is the number of price drops. Over 50% of listings on the market decreased their price in the last week. And when we break this down state to state, we see every state has decreased their home prices in the last week. So the question, which I have not answered yet, whether you should buy a home now or wait till a recession, becomes more interesting because the data is showing that the market is changing. It's cooling down, it's becoming more stable, still a seller's market, but more stable with more opportunities, with prices decreasing, with listings staying on the market longer, which means that there's more inventory. So this is for all the people that want to buy a house now. These are the 5 things that you got to do. First thing you got to do is take a look at your plan. Take a look at your must-haves and your nice-to-haves. The one thing you got to realize is that even though a market shifts, the most competitive properties are going to be the ones that have the most desirable features. So take a look at your must-haves and see where do you really need to have what you want to have, and where can you be flexible given your price range and what you're looking for. Second thing is take a look at where you want to live. I've got a bunch of videos about different cost of living factors in different cities in Northern Virginia. Really think about where you want to live, and is there a way that you can be flexible there? In some cases you cannot, but that just means you have to think about being flexible elsewhere. The third thing to do is realize that there are advantages. Even now, even in the market where it is with the interest rates where they are, there are advantages to being a homeowner. So let's say worst case scenario, you get an interest rate of 8% on a 30-year fix. Your payments will be different, but you can refinance down. All the payments you've been making from now until that point are not going down the drain, or they're not going into somebody else's pocket, as some people would say, but that money is really all going to your net worth. Even from an opportunity side, like I just mentioned, over 50% of listings in Virginia have dropped their prices in the last week. And so while the market is shifting, there's an opportunity to find what you're looking for in the place that you're looking for it. Fourth thing is just get pre-approved. Everybody says this all the time, but you just got to do it. How do you know you can afford what you want? Not saying you can't, but when you get pre-approved, you get clarity not only on the financial side, on the numbers side, but your lender, if they're a good lender, they'll give you a strategy of, if you're not where you need to be right now, they'll show you a path for how to get from here to actually being in a position to have the most buying power possible. And even better, your lender can get you access to different grant programs or lender promotions that put money in your pockets for you to buy a house. And the fifth thing is hit me up. Like I mentioned, you got my link tree down at the bottom there. You guys got everything, my phone number, my email, all my social handles. You can hit me up on Calendly and get a discovery call. I've also got a free home buyer webinar in the link tree that you can download, you can watch free of charge. Watch whenever you want, download it, send it to whoever you think might be useful. All this is for you to help you prepare so that you can do it now, you can do it in a month, in a week, in a year, in 10 years from now. So that's all I got for you. So the question about whether you should buy a home now or wait is yes, both. But whichever it makes sense, the most sense for you, do it. But do it with all the information in your hand. That's all I got. I'm gonna catch y'all next time. It's always real, and from me to you, take care.